camera. Trying to fix my camera. Sorry, guys. Bear with me one second. All right. All right. Come in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in the room. No, I'm just playing. But come in, everybody. Come in liking. Come in sharing. Come in commenting. Come in with your mind ready to receive this message for today. This is going to be for my ladies. It's going to be for my queens. It's going to be for the women of God who knows that God has called you to walk in this life upright, but also to have a godly man in your life. I want to talk to y'all directly, okay? Now, I know I got the brothers that come on here, but brothers, y'all got to give us a little bit of time because this one is going to be for the ladies. This is going to be for my sisters in Christ. And when you come in, can y'all do me a favor? Please like, please share, comment. Thank you guys so much for tuning in each and every time I upload new content and go live. Thank y'all for just rocking with me. And there's so many new subscribers on here, and I have nothing but God to give the glory for that. So thank you, Lord. And I pray that something that I say will cause you to shift and make an impact in your personal life. And and I pray that something will that I say will also cause you to move into your purpose. And so welcome to all of my new subscribers, my fam who've been with me since day one when I didn't know what I was doing, when I didn't know how to do what I needed to do on this channel. Like y'all just stepped in and you continue to support the channel. So I want to tell y'all all thank you. And on this channel, first of all, my name is Josie, and I'm the founder of Girl Plus Kingdom TV and Ministries. And on this channel, we discuss everything that pertains into walking this Christian lifestyle, walking the kingdom lifestyle, evolving and transforming your life and stepping into your destiny. I am a minister of God. I am a life coach and a business strategist as well. And I help leaders just like you, chosen people of God just like you, to really step forward into your destiny and to do the will of God for your life. It's time for us to really break out, right? Break out of fear, break out of doubt, all of that, and step into your transformation so that you can make an impact in the kingdom of God. But today, I wanted to come on here to talk to y'all about, to the ladies about walking in your queen energy and attracting a king. Okay, walking in your queen energy and attracting a king. Now, what is queen energy? How do we identify what queen energy is? Queen energy is energy that says that I know who I am, I know my worth, I know my value, I know what I bring to the table, so to speak. But a man should never even ask you that. I'm just saying. I understand what I carry and I'm standing on it. Okay, that's queen energy. Queen energy does not bend her rules. Queen energy does not bend her standards. She does not bend her her will to just to please a man or just to have a man or just to, just to say like, oh, I got somebody. No, queens, they attract, they do not chase. Somebody put that in the comments and say queens attract, they do not chase. So if you a queen, I want you to put a one in the comments and represent and let me know that I'm talking directly to you. If you know that you are still working on that side of yourself, becoming the highest version of yourself, walking in a level of self-love, self-worth, self-value, then that's okay. Stay on the journey. I listen, we don't arrive to the journey overnight. We don't arrive to walking in queendom overnight. Why? Because we have been through so much, ladies. Come on, y'all. Let's admit we done been through different trials in life, through different relationships, through different heartbreaks, through different aches and pains in life. And sometimes those things can cramp your queen style. So um begin to walk in this new level of queendom, That means that you have number one, we're gonna go ahead and tap in and get started. Because number one is when you're walking in queendom, that means that you have begun to do the necessary work. That means that you have begun to heal. You begun to allow God to do a work in you. You have begun to go on your journey of self-discovery and self-love. That means that you're now willing to do the work. So that's number one. Queendom or queens, we are willing to do the internal work. It's not just about being cute. It's not just about being pretty. It's not just about being beautiful on the outside, but what do you carry? It's the inward qualities of a woman that makes her walk in queen energy. It's the way that you show up in the room and you light the room up and you make people feel your warm presence. That's queen energy. It's the way that you speak, how you move, how you talk. It's how you are warm with people, how you are kind towards people. That's queen energy. It's the things that you do, the places that you go, the people you entertain. That's queen energy. When you entertain people that's not going where you're going, you're operating outside of your queendom. When you entertain men that don't mean you well, you operating outside of your queen energy. When you allow men that don't know how to protect, provide, cover you, and do the basics that men do, you walking outside of queen energy. And so how do you attract a king is by staying in the essence of who you really are as a woman. Okay. That's just it. That's really it. Staying in the essence of who God has made you to be as a woman. But in order for you to do that, you have to know who you are. You have to know that you love roses. Okay. You have to know that you will not have sex before marriage. You have to know that if you do have sex, you have already pretty much vetted this guy. So you're not sleeping with random men. That's the opposite of queendom. That's the opposite of queen energy. When you just meet somebody, are you overly friendly? Are you overly zealous? Are you overly bubbly? Now, even if your personality is bubbly, you can still be have a balance, okay? Because if you come off too friendly, that could send the wrong message to certain men. Because men, they don't think like us. Men, they don't operate like us. Men, they don't function like us. And so when you begin to be too friendly, too nice, men begin to see desperation. All right? I'm telling you what I know. This is coming from experience from a woman who's been divorced twice, and now I'm in the dating world. And I can tell you a thing or two about dating men, quality men though. Men that mean you well, men that's gonna come into your life and add value to you. All right. These are the type of men that you want to attract. You want to attract men that's gonna check on your oil. You want to attract men that's gonna ask you not just what did you eat, but can I take you out to eat? You want to attract men that they're not trying to be so quick to rush you into the bedroom. They want to get to know you. They want to take it slow. Because any man that's rushing you, any man that he seemed like he trying to fast pace the relationship or the courtship, and he haven't even got to know you, and he just want to just take it real fast, that's not king energy. All right? That's the opposite of king energy. So how do you, as a woman of God, as a woman of favor, attract a king? And then look, check this out. Not just attract him, but keep him engaged. All right. Keep him engaged. We're going to do a part 2 about keeping him engaged later. So if you want to attract that man, that kingdom man, that godly man, that masculine man, the man that provides, protects you, honors you, cherish you, and level you up, you have to already be walking in the fullness of who you are. So that when you see a kingdom man, you'll be able to identify him. Why? Because you are walking in the true essence of who God has made you to be. So we're going to repeat this one more time, and then I'm going to let y'all go. Again, queen energy is When a woman walks in the fullness of who she is, queen energy is saying that I know who I am, I know my self worth, I know my value, I love myself, and I am doing everything that I can to exude that level of positivity and poise and elegance. It reeks out of a kingdom woman, it reeks out of a queen. Why? Because you have done the internal work, and when you do the internal work, you'll attract kings. You'll attract also leeches and peasants too. Don't get me wrong. But because you have done the internal work, even when you attract those type of men too, the negative, the peasant kind, the one that don't want to commit and all of that, you're gonna attract any kind of man you're gonna attract because you are a woman. But the ones that you only should entertain is gonna be the ones that they are showing you that they A have done work on themselves too. B, they also value the same things that you value, such as loving themselves, having a self-worth within themselves, also walking by godly principles and standards, and you gotta be content with just staying single until you attract this kind of man. Because this kind of man, he don't come a dime a dozen, baby. This kind of man does not come, through FedEx Express, okay? This kind of man, in order for us to locate this kind of guy, we as women of God have to be in position for that. We as women of God have to align ourselves with the will of God for our lives, be walking in your purpose, fulfilling your God ordained assignment, so that when he finds you, just like Boaz did Ruth. Listen, Boaz seen Ruth working, baby, in her, doing her thing, getting the bag, okay? And Boaz approached Ruth and was like, listen, who is that? Who is that? That's because Ruth was in position. Ruth was in her queen energy. Ruth was tending to the field. She was working. She was going after what she was supposed to be doing. And in the midst of her being occupied in what she was supposed to be doing, she attracted Boaz. Okay. She attracted the man that would then welcome the Messiah's lineage. Okay. Because we know Jesus came through the line of David, and David came through the lineage of Ruth and Boaz. So, because of Ruth's positioning in her purpose, because of Ruth's positioning in her destiny, because of Ruth's positioning in her ability to work with her hands and do what God had called her to do, she forsook her past to pursue her future, and God blessed her. All right. And so, this is how you walk in queen energy. You begin to do the things that God put you here on earth to do. You begin to level up your own life and do things that make you happy, that make you feel fulfilled, so that you are not so bent out of shape if you have a man or if you don't. And so that you are not so focused on a relationship that you don't have time to really just focus on yourself. Okay? Queens focus on themselves. Queens focus on the assignment of God over their life. Queens build themselves up inwardly. Work on your attitude. Work on yourself. Work on your mindset. Work on your heart. Work on your love. Work on your posture. Welcome into today's live. Welcome on your attitude and how you treat people and how you show up in the world. Work on your character. Work on loyalty and trust. Build a systems within yourself so that when you attract a king, you'll attract you. So when you meet a king, you'll know. So that when you meet a king, you'll know. But if you don't work on yourself, woman of God, you won't know when a king shows up. You'll think that a peasant is a king. Woo! Mic drop. Mic drop. Mic drop. Mic drop. If you don't work on yourself and build yourself up, you will think that a peasant is a king. Ooh. Now here's the thing though. A peasant has a king in him, but if he's not willing to do the work to become the man that is walking in that kingdom or that kingship, then he's not ready to walk alongside of you. I'm going to say that again. If that man is not ready to put in the work that it takes to walk in his kingship, then he should not be walking alongside of you. Because if you are putting in the work to become queen or to walk in queendom, your queendom, then here's the thing. You're walking in your queenship. And so because of all the work that you've put in, all the time you put in becoming her, all the time you put in just to level yourself up, all of the energy and all of the grinding and all of the undoing and all the healing, do you think that you want to just let anybody come into your life after you put in all that hard work? Absolutely not. And if you do, that means that you have more healing to do. If you do, that means that you got more things that you need to dig deep and find out why. Why is it that you're desperate for a relationship? Why are you desperate to allow just anybody to come into your life? The first man that smiled at you, now you smiling from ear to ear and you don't even know him, telling him all your business, and he has not even proven to you not once that he was a man for the job. He has still not proven to you that he walked in his kingship, but because he smiled at you or showed some level of interest towards you, you smiling from ear to ear. Now you're blinded by deceit. Now you're blinded by a smile. Now you're blinded by, but then you got to dig deep and ask yourself, why am I blinded by this? Why did him just telling me I'm pretty, why did that make me feel some type of way? Because you should know that you are beautiful before a man ever tell you. So that when a man tell you, you not a bit more interested in that. There is more that's required of you, sir. There is more that's required of you, sir, than for you to just tell me I'm beautiful. There's more that's required of you, sir, than for you to just smile in my face. There's more that's required of you, sir, than for you to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get ladies, get some strength in you. You got to be able to say no. You got to be able to tell that man, no, not now. I don't know you. We're not having sex, okay? You can't kiss me on the first date, all right? You cannot hug me any kind of way. Come on here. This is queenship. This is walking in queen energy, all right? You having poise and elegance, saying no, being willing to turn men down, being willing to tell that man, listen, if you want to holler at me, you're going to have to come up hither, all right? If you want to pursue me, you're going to have to come up higher. If you want to know who I am, you're going to have to show me who you are first, sir. And not only will you have to show me who you are, you got to prove yourself. And how do a man prove himself? Through his actions, okay? And if he ain't walking in kingship, trying to come into your space and invade your personal space, then this means that he cannot have your time. All right. You got to be so desperate in a sense of self-love, be desperate and pour all of that desperation into your self-worth, pour all that desperation into figuring out who you are. Because what I have discovered is that when you find your purpose and when you get busy and put your head down in what God has called you to do, you really don't have time to play games. You are much more strict on who you allow to come into your inner courts or into your inner circle. When you know who you are and when you know what God has put you here to do, you don't sit around and waste time because you understand that you don't get time back. And so you don't just let any man come into your space and waste your time. So there's a thing that I like to say, and I'm closing with this, that before the date, you should actually be, before the date, the initial date or the first date, you should actually be talking and communicating over the phone with him. And when you talking to him, you need to be trying to get some information out of him. Don't you tell him nothing about you. And as you communicating with this man over the phone, give it a few phone calls. Like I would say at least 4 phone calls, 4 or 5 phone calls, maybe 10 even, depending on your level of comfortability. All right. And your level of discernment. If it take you long to discern a man, you need more phone calls. You need to be asking him questions like, you know, if you're going to ask him questions, ask him core value questions. And core value questions are questions that are going to show you and let you know who he is. Okay. So when you're talking to him on the phone before y'all ever go out on the initial date, you need to be having conversations with this man on the phone. I call it the convo before the date. All right, the convo before the date. There should be conversations before you literally give this man your time. This is going to protect your heart and protect your queenship. This is going to protect the queen energy that you walk in. When you begin to set those boundaries in place, men will respect you. When you begin to set the boundaries in place for yourself because you have self-love and you say, you know what, I love myself enough to know that I need to put boundaries in place with all people, not just men, everybody. And when you do this before you start dating, it'll become an easier thing to do when you start dating. If you set boundaries in your personal life before you date, then it'll be easier for you to set boundaries with men. Okay? Because the work starts inwardly before you can ever bring it outwardly. So everything that you set up for yourself inwardly or everything that you create for yourself personally, when you begin to date men, you'll also be able to roll that over into your dating life. But if you don't have boundaries with yourself, if you don't have boundaries and systems in your life with other people, then when it's time for you to date, you won't have boundaries. You'll be a loose cannon. You'll be accepting anything. You'll allow people to waste your time. So have those initial calls with your guy before you have initial calls with your guy before you with the guy that you're possibly going to date. I mean, before you just allow that man to even take you out on date one. Okay, this is a system that I have used. It has been successful for me, and it has allowed me to weed out fakes and counterfeits, men that do not mean me well. So when a man comes into my life and he's dating me, he got to show up with intentionality. When a man comes into my life and he's dating me, he got to show up with more than just money and with more than just presenting his body. All right, he got to show up with something else. And that's the way that a man shows up with more is when you show him that you value yourself. When you show that man that you mean something to yourself. So much so that everybody can't just have your time. And everybody can't just have a space in your life real easy. And you ain't kikiing and cacaing and laughing in his face and being friendly too soon. It doesn't mean that you cannot be warm. It does not mean that you cannot be feminine and walk in a level of kindness, a level of gentleness. But gentleness is not you walking on eggshells because you don't want to offend somebody. That's not gentleness. Gentleness is being still, having a peaceful spirit about you, and having a warm, kind heart spirit about you, which requires deep levels of healing and overcoming trauma. Because when you start healing from that trauma, and you start overcoming your past pain and issues, listen, that's going to automatically put you in a position to make the right decisions. Because then you'll be on the self-love journey. And you're not going to just let anybody come in and disrupt your self-love journey. You're not going to let it just anybody come in and just a counterfeit come in and just try to sweep you off your feet with love bombing you. You're going to be way more cautious on how you move and how you do and how you present yourself. There's going to be a level of depth to you, all right, that's going to actually attract the right man. So that's what I have for y'all today. I want you to go back and watch this on a replay if you need to. Remember that queens attract, they do not chase. They position themselves to be found, to be pursued. So if you find yourself chasing a man and all of that, it's time to go inwardly and it's time to do some inward work. I need you to be the whole, most healthiest version of yourself. It's time to transform your love life. So this is Josie, and I am the founder of Girl Plus Kingdom TV and Ministries. Please be sure to check out the links in our bio. If you need a one-on-one call, we have a free 30-minute consultation. Click Click my link that'll take you to my website. Click the tab on the left that will take you to the point where you can book a free 30-minute consultation. Let's talk and see if we're a good fit to work together. I would love to work with you to help shape and reform the way that you do relationships. If you know that you need this and this message was right on time for you, this message blessed you, listen, go ahead and take action now, because it won't always be this way where you could just book a free 30-minute consultation with me. So get it while you can. And if you're struggling to find your purpose, you're struggling to activate your gifts, you're struggling to walk in your God-given identity, get the get our 30 oh my God, get our 30 Days to Purpose book, where it's the number one guide that'll show you how to level up your life and transform your life so you can fulfill your God-given call. Okay. If you're struggling to do that, that book is going to bless your socks off your feet and ignite you and help you to launch out into your destiny. So I love y'all. You need help with your business, starting your kingdom business, and you need strategic strategy on how to start a successful kingdom business and start making multiple figures in your business. Then I want you to also go and book a free 30-minute consultation with me. Let's sit down and, well, let's come together and let's talk and come up with a plan for your business so that you can begin to walk into your kingdom business and fulfill that call over your life too. So I love y'all, and I'll check in with y'all later. Hair oil, all that on deck. Check the link in my bio for everything that we have. We have free stuff and we have stuff that you can pay for so that we can be a blessing to you and so you can take your life to the next level. So I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all beautiful people later. Bye y'all.